Hey, I hear about the Hoarder in D.C.
What?
We're all about the hoarders these days.
Oh, I
Are we
can't
hoarding
get enough of
bullets?
that show. Hoarding them in their head.
Wasn't there a new episode last night?
I think, yes.
There was?
Not tonight. It's on Mondays.
Okay.
Oh, good. I love that show. New episodes are great.
I can't watch. I watch The Fidgets.
No, you got to watch The Hoarders.
I watch The Fidgets instead. Much better show.
No, Hoarders.
Little people, big world.
Hoarders and I Survived is great, where they show people that should have been dead, people that are throats slit, thrown in the trunk of a car, all that great stuff.
People saying the only reason you liked the show last night, what is it called, Empire Boardwalk or whatever, was because it was all about the KKK last night.
Well, I didn't see last night's.
Oh, okay. It's like I was.
So I will see that tonight, as a matter of fact.
So you got a D.C. woman evicted from home. She was a hoarder. An eviction in D.C. turned into a bigger job than anyone could have ever expected. They had to get rid of this hoarder, right?
Yes.
The woman being kicked out was a hoarder. What was in her home was enough to fill 10 houses.
Wow.
All
10
of it.
houses?
So they had to evict her for whatever reason. I don't think they evicted her for being a hoarder. I think they found out she was a hoarder after the fact. Yeah, so all the shit in her house could fill up 10 houses. All of it wound up piled up on both sides of her street and a block down another.
Wow.
So they cleared out the whole fucking house with her
and it
shit.
just took up all that space.
All that space. All of these belongs to one woman. She's jobless and was evicted from her 11th Street home for failing to pay rent. And then she goes, I'm not... So they're not throwing this shit out. They took all her shit out of the house because she can't live in that house anymore because she wasn't paying rent.
It's like an eviction. So they evicted her,
but she's now telling the town or whatever that this is her shit and she's not throwing it away. So now the rest of the neighborhood has to deal with her shit that's just piled up and down the block.
You get a
block and a half.
Bulldozer and just fucking crush it.
She says, I'm not going to throw it away because I collected this for a long time and it's hard to collect it to throw it away, she said. She says she's been collecting all of her belongings for 15 years to send it to the poor in Venezuela and claims she has sent a container of donations to Latin America before. On Tuesday, when crews showed up, it took more than 10 hours to remove all her belongings. They couldn't even get in the front door of the house.
Of course not.
They made a line down the street. They were passing every little piece by piece until they dug themselves into the house. Wow. So they had to dig themselves into the house, Aunt, to finally get in the front door.
Anytime
so they had to make a
Hoarders,
tunnel.
they have to do that.
Crazy bitch.
A Virginia moving company volunteered to take away as much as possible and store it, filling up 3 moving trucks. Was only half of the stuff. Neighbors complained to the city about trash and debris in the backyard and attracting rats and possums.
Get rid of this fucking garbage. Just throw it out.
There's nothing. You don't need anything. Just throw it out. They're crazy people. People judge them like they're fucking regular people that can be dealt with, and they're crazy people. Institutionalize them.
Well, Anthony, we've had mental health services contact her, and they're going to become involved because there are obviously psychological issues here.
Yes, obviously.
She only parted with just a few things and left everything else for now. God is good. He's going to provide me new jobs and new things, she vowed.
But you part with your life, you waste. She's wearing a sombrero.
Is she really? Look at this.
What is this fucking mess wearing a sombrero for?
Didn't pay her rent.
I'm not going to throw it away because I collected for a long time and it's hard to collect it. You can throw it away.
Diaz says she collected all this to send to the poor in Venezuela, where she's from.
How many years have you been collecting this? 15 years.
They couldn't get in the house. From the front door, they made a line down to the street.
That's what Bill Cosby's doing nowadays.
Passing every little piece by piece until they dug this stuff into the house.
When we took the corner down here on 11th Street and seen the stuff lined up all the way down the street, and we knew we were getting into something.
For some time, neighbors complained about trash and debris in Diaz's backyard, but no one realized how bad it was inside.
How will all that stuff fit into one house unless it was piped to the ceiling and every crack was filled?
For now, Diaz and another tenant who lived in the townhouse are staying in a shelter, and the city is looking to get help for Diaz.
Obviously, we've also had mental health services contacted, and they're going to become involved because there are obviously psychological issues here.
God is good. He's going to provide me good job and new things.
Doing what?
Good job
records
and
show
new
Diaz
things.
was issued a violation back in April for trash and debris piling up in the backyard. We understand she did clean it up then. A Virginia moving company volunteered to take away
Sloppy
as much as
Gonzalez.
possible, store it, filling up 3 trucks. That was only half of it. The city
Speedy
agreed to store the rest of her belongings.
Speedy Garbage.
Garbage.
I couldn't get it. Sloppy Gonzalez, much funnier.
I think it's
Pepe my house is Le Pew. Armpits Le Pew.